Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. Hello, I am Noé Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. Pedro Rose Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are back this week. It is December 4th, 2024. It's episode 463, I believe. Wow, we have a lot to talk about. We're back. We both got new printers, and we're so excited to talk about them. We have a whole breakdown of our experiences. We have unboxings, we have new prints, we have failed prints, we have tips, so much stuff. Let's do the morning routine before I just start gushing over just glee of how happy I am with this new machine. Welcome everybody to the show. On Discord, we're hanging out. You can feel the excitement just seeping out of my pores. Good morning, everybody. We got Due Wester in the house. More folks will be coming in. We are streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We'll come back to you folks in Discord in just a moment, but let's talk about adafruit.com/free. That is right. Free things are still happening here at Adafruit. For orders that are $99 or more, you get a free PCB coaster with a golden Adafruit logo. For orders that are $149 or more, you get the PCB coaster plus an Adafruit KB2040. For orders that are $199 or more, you'll get the KB2040 dev board, the PCB coaster with the golden Adafruit logo, and free UPS ground shipping for continental US only. And at the top tier, $299, you get all that plus Circuit Playground Express, lovely dev board with all the built-in sensors, LEDs, and more. On top of that, how about a 10% discount code? New prints, coupon code, new prints will get you a new discount, 10% off everything in the in your cart there. Not every item 10% off, but the whole cart gets 10% off. So use that. And then be sure to, if you are purchasing stuff, you want to get it before the deadlines. We have a blog post. Let me click on these little buttons here. Let me refresh the site. I probably need to do that. Adafruit.com/shipping, I think. Is the blog working for you? Here it is. View all. Click on the buttons. There are the buttons. Where's my shipping? There's the shipping deadlines. Check out all those dates if you want stuff to get here before any major holidays. We got domestic orders split out into all the individual services like USPS, UPS, and DHL worldwide for the international order. So check that out. Just a FYI, we got you covered there. Shipping deadlines, get on it. And new prints. So that's the discount code today, good for the next 24 hours. So check that out. All right. I just kind of blasted through that.
Yeah, we're trying to get all the links posted in the Discord. They should all be in there now.
Yeah, early Christmas. Vince is also hanging out. All right, hello. Thank you for joining us live, and everybody else who's watching on all the channels. If you got any chats or comments, we can bring those in the show as well. All right, that's the morning routine. All right, so as a on Black Friday, I think, right? Is that when we both decided it's time to get a new 3D printer?
Yeah. We were checking out the prices, and before that, the community itself, for I think over a year now, decided that they all are going to migrate over to these Bambu printers from Bambu Labs. We took cautionary stand back and just watched everybody print out these amazing 4-color, up to 16-color prints now, and just looked on with awe and inspiration, and sort of just
a little bit of envy. I was always envious of those back when they first came out, like I was seeing this printer blazing fast speeds, and the people
Oh
think
yeah,
you can
that was the
reduce their
first one.
4-hour prints to like 2 hours, reducing half of the time. That is the main thing that I always wanted to do, is just
Speed,
have a
yes,
printer
speed.
that is just so fast and so smart that it has built-in spaghetti detection, perfect first layers every time. Just an all-around amazing quality printer.
Built-in
The printer didn't
connectivity.
get We got the X1 Carbon with the AMS. So now we have the ability to do multicolored prints, fast prints, high quality prints with perfect first layers. So we both got one, and we are just over the moon with the quality and the reliability of this machine. It is incredible.
Tolerances, as we've seen now, a lot of the cases are not being stocked in the Adafruit shop, so we were quite happy to see that we don't have to make 2 different models for each different part that we're stocking in the store. So we can get those tolerances pretty dang the same as what we send off to the print house to pump these out. So we can more accurately get these prototyped in-house and not have to have like 2 different versions. It would have helped immensely with the Lego ones. I had to do like 4 different versions for each one to print out to make sure everything fit out, and then have prints shipped in from JL PCB to make sure the tolerances were all matching. And that would have been super helpful to have those pumped out as quickly as they could. And have the exact same model.
Yep, we're gonna take a look at that. First, we're gonna kind of go chronologically. So let's start off with the unboxing and the setup experience. Pedro was able to edit together a video thanks to his Meta glasses. Let's take a look here. I'll mute it so that we can talk over it. But I love seeing Declan, my nephew, your son, helping out with the unboxing. That is so wholesome.
He was so excited to get this up. When it came in, you know, I was busy doing other stuff, and he was egging me on to hurry up and open up the box and get it out.
Yeah, so it ships great. For me, I'm in New England, and it shipped right out of New Jersey, so I got it in like the next day. It was incredible. I got it on a Friday. Pedro, you got it on a Saturday. It shipped FedEx. They handled it perfectly. The box is really nice and set up. The packaging is excellent. Everything is packaged so well and so tight. Like you had to unscrew a couple things. Like they have like custom brackets built in that you're unscrewing here, but the little pamphlet is like super easy to follow through. So feel free to talk about any of this stuff. This is so cool. I had no idea that the AMS has built in humidity sensors, and it has built in cavities for desiccants. So it's keeping your filament airtight. It's got an airtight like hood. It's fully enclosed, so our filament is always nice and dry. That is so cool. I did not know that that the AMS had all those built-in stuff. So that alone is super cool. That you have no need for a filament dryer. It's built into the thing. Plugs in. It's super intuitive to just plug everything in. The touch screen is like high resolution, full color, really responsive.
Like a little phone or iPad, everything, like the login for your account, it logs right into there. The keyboard for setting in your Wi-Fi credentials, you can actually use the keyboard without grabbing a pen or something like other companies have tried to do with these teeny tiny untouchable keyboards.
The interface is excellent. Next level interface. Really good graphics and speed, and I love the position of it. It's like right there. It's not down. I don't have to crunch down to it. So everything was top notch.
Angle it as well.
Yeah, connecting it up and installing it is easy too. It's fully enclosed. Fully enclosed. Super great materials. Built-in LED, built-in camera, built-in Wi-Fi. The app is amazing. Like it's wow. So the setup, it does like a routine where it's like calibrating all the motors, the nozzle. It takes, I think, 10 minutes or so. You only have to do it once, and the kid's just being a transformer. They're so fun. Yeah.
Here's a little size comparison between the S5 and the Bambu. It's about the size of a S3, the Ultimaker.
Yeah. So these are cool, huh?
The AMS, the way it loads, like I didn't expect it to be fully automatically feeding all the filaments. So super surprised on just the way that it automatically unspools and feeds the filament through the Bowden tube.
Yeah, I had no
Quite
problems with tingling or anything like that. Do you have any tips on what you can do if you run into what issue did you run into with these?
The only one with the cardboard spools, it just got caught up when you're unspooling, but it wasn't like catastrophic failure. It was just since all the sensors that are on there and alerts you on your phone, you're able to quickly remedy that. And all it took was unspooling it and feeding it back in. So
Right, just
it's
backing
pretty
it up a
smart
little
from that.
bit. Yeah,
Mhm.
especially with a new
And that was
spool.
all. Oh yeah. Since the spool is full, the filament has a tendency to come off the spool if it's the
Right.
cardboard one. But there are tons of models for a adapter for the cardboard spool, so it's pretty much just like an edge little ring that you just snap onto the cardboard.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes
Tons of
so
models for that.
yeah, it's almost like a little guide so that your filament will stay within the spool.
Mhm.
Super easy to
And
remedy, not a big issue.
yeah, and not shown here, they actually ship with a bunch of Bowden tubes too that I could have just added on there.
Oh, that's funny,
To
yeah.
like
I
keep
didn't think of that.
the filament
Oh,
wound
that's
up
what they're for.
properly.
Oh, I didn't even yeah,
Yeah.
that's good, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I haven't run into the issue because all my filaments are, like, halfway. But
Okay.
yeah, one of the cool benefits of the AMS is you can have, 4 filaments of the same color and then just run through them, and it'll automatically just
So
feed the
handy.
next spool in. So you can now use up every piece of your filament. So that's huge because a lot of the other printers, you kinda have to throw out the spool before it gets
Mhm.
dangerous, right? So that's
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, the Curities, they all have, like, the filament sensor, but it's only one spool, and you have to physically go over there and, a add the new spool. For this, it'll just go through all of them automatically.
Mhm.
Super
Yeah.
handy.
Yeah, and it's cool to just have all these colors loaded so that you can just pick them whatever you want, and then you don't have to sit there and unload and reload.
Yeah,
It's
that's so
it's
cool the
pretty
way it does
advanced. It's pretty good.
that.
Yeah.
You just put it in just the tip, and it grabs the whole thing and starts
Mhm.
spooling everything for you,
Yeah, it's
and,
really nice.
I haven't even used any of the included spools. I have the RFID tag, so it knows, how all the proper settings. This is what I was talking about, where it gets
Oh,
caught
yeah.
up, and it's pretty much just
Yeah, just back
going
it
over
up.
the spool, and all you do is
Mhm.
just unwind it and bring it back into the spool. Here was the first print that I did. I got the colors wrong, but the kids don't care.
Yeah.
Here for
That's funny,
them,
red
they
face Santa.
did a
That's funny.
good job on the tolerances. Of course, this came from their STL repository maker world. So, of course, everything was perfect on it. It was already set up. And yeah, very impressed. And of course, for me, the main thing that I wanted this for was for the time lapses because it is a XY core. It's not a bed slinger, so I don't have to
Gunslinger?
um, yeah, where the bed is actually moving back and forth, which we're quite used to now with all the cruelties. So this was even easier than setting up the magnetic um, trigger for the DSLR. I pretty much just double stuck the end part to the back of the printhead. I like how there's this little dip here for it to fit perfectly back there, and then the other part that has the wire attached, I have it right in the back next to one of the motors, right above it. Show it just in a bit here. And yeah, it doesn't, there's no collisions with anything. And then the wire just goes right through where the chute for the purge bucket goes into, and it lines up
There
perfectly
you go.
for
That's
triggering
perfect. Wow.
the time lapses.
Yeah.
And there's no funky G code that I had to grab like
Oh,
in
I see the
Octoprint.
wiring now. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
just right out of
smart.
the chute
Right
and
through the chute, that's
plug right
incredible.
to the where an intervalometer would plug into,
Oh, that's
and that just
brilliant.
triggers, and all of the time lapse settings are all built in. You can just tell it
They
to
are.
do a time lapse. It's just a checkbox.
Yeah.
Before we had to install, do like go into Octoprint and do some Pi scripts to set up your camera the way the MPEG streamer works. So you had to
Yeah.
go in there and go into the terminal or for Pi and get the MPEG streamer to work. So it's like, oh my God, I don't have to do any of this crap
Yeah, it's a lot
anymore.
of
I had to
setup
get like the proper
in the
camera
old
to get it
days.
all set up. Then you
Real
mess
quick,
up and have to like burn your Pi image to get it correct. So it's like, oh my God.
yeah. So this
There's
is
so much
the
prep to do.
magnetic switch. We
Mhm.
do stock it. If you have one already, you just use that. But it's just 2 wires, and it's just basically a button. Whenever it gets close to it, it triggers the button, right?
Mhm.
And you can pick these up now. Yeah, I put the link to that in all the places. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that we do stock a magnetic contact switch, and you can use it in all sorts of different ways. But this is a really clever way to use it for your time lapse remotes on your DSLR camera. Now there is a built-in camera, and you can do time lapses.
Mhm.
Is it this one? Yeah, this is the
Yeah, here it
built-in
is.
camera. So here's Santa being printed in the updated colors. And it just you turn it on with a simple checkbox. One of the things is you could do is, you orient it so that you get a better view. But it's clever how it takes a picture after every layer, so it looks really, really smooth. It's a 1080p camera. It's not exactly 1920 by 1080, but it's pretty good for like this kind of quick time lapse.
Yeah, and like the lower lights is a little pixelated, but the main reason that I set this up is so we could attach the DSLR one, which of course is going to look
Yeah,
a
here's
lot
what it looks
better.
like.
It's
Yeah.
5.6K, so I'm able to zoom in and out and get a lot more better focusing on it. And of course, a long shutter speed. I'm using like a 1/60th over 100 shutter speed, so I'm able to, even in low light, able to get a nice open wide shot of it, and it looks pretty good. Able
Yeah.
to zoom in and out from those layers. Oop, try that again.
Wow.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. And of course, the 4-color is so cool.
So this is using the read switch, right?
Mhm.
To trigger it. Okay. So every layer is being triggered whenever it goes to the back of the printer.
Yeah, when it prints the little purge block
Mm-hmm.
is what is set up when you enable the time-lapse mode for that.
Cool. All right. I guess since we're in the topic of time lapses, I got my own time lapse here since we have the same printer now. I printed out the Pusheen with the lovely little Santa hat and a candy cane. This one's using support material. This was a long print. It was about 13 hours, but this is all default. You can optimize the what do you call it? The purge tower. I guess you call it the purge tower. You can make that smaller. And there's a new experimental setting that allows you to kind of reduce the amount of retraction that is being wasted. The amount of poop, you can reduce that. Yeah, there's a lot of different tips on how to do that. We're still learning about it. And one of the easiest ones is just to print more models. So if you want to save material, you can just print like 4 of these and you're gonna have the exact same purge block and poop waste, which is incredible, right? It's just like, oh, okay. So that's what a lot of people a lot of Bambu users just print more. Just print more of the thing to save if you do want multiple copies. There's what's it called? A flush model. You can actually have a model be the purge to transition between the colors, which is super cool. A lot of different tips that you can apply to if you really care about saving on material. But I think Bambu is just going to get flush into an object is what Paul Blue is saying on YouTube. Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. Yeah. But yeah, mine's just default. It's just default. I just wanted to get it. This is my first multicolor print. Took 13 hours, but it's fairly large. Here's what it looks like.
I believe the Santa one took about, I think it was like 11 hours. That's pretty cool. I did. I didn't grab, the kids already grabbed the little frosty one that I did too. That's where I started using the index, updated the flush index to like 0.2, so it's not flushing as much because the bleeding was pretty minimal, and then did the second object as the flush object. And then the purge block, I just chop it in half. So if it's like 20 by 40, chop it down to like 20 by 10. So it's not as large. And a lot of people were saying that sometimes the purge model or the purge block is there just to get the flow optimized, so you don't have any under extrusion.
Right. Yeah, with all the default settings, it just ensures that you have a perfect crisp transition, and you can see here, it's pretty crisp. The default supports that were added for me, they came right off. There was a brim, I believe, too. It's a little bit wonky here, but man, that's fine. This is a 0.24 layer height, which is default. It looks really, really smooth. The Z seams here are just in the back there, but you can tell it where you want those, just like any slicer. And man, that first layer is always perfect. And the little hat, it's very nice, very nice. You can find this model on Maker World, which is Bambu Labs' repository site for sharing your models and stuff. We can share that if we want, but yeah.
The close-up of mine. The other thing too, you can kind of see here too, the when you flush into the object too, you can also flush into the infill, so you can see a bunch of the black infill inside of there as well. So you are optimizing it as well like that by having the infill help to flush out that other color.
Yeah.
You can kind of see in the back here too. A lot of the infill is the black.
It almost looks like a tie-dye kind of hat effect. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the red filament is one of the most hardest filaments. White and red is one of those. It can bleed a lot. The red tends to bleed more than the other pigments, I think. Which is why I used pink.
All right, continuing on to some of the unboxing stuff there. After I think I have here a screenshot too of what it looks like to for one of the boxes. Oops, there's all the.
Oh, sorry. Let me bring that in.
Purge. Of course, for our case designs too. One of the upcoming cases that we're stocking. This is the latest solar charger that Noah designed here, and we're able to very quickly, inside of the UI for the slicer, just go in and paint where a lot of the labels are. So you can go in there and paint in all of the text for that, so we can have that be the different color. This was supposed to be white, but I just got it wrong. Painted it in red instead of the white.
It looks a little under extruded, the red there.
Yeah, it's because you know how you have this embossed in.
Yeah.
It didn't and I'm using a 0.2. Yeah, it's using a 0.2 layer height too. So if it was 0.2, and then if this was flush with the bottom, it would have looked a lot more better. But
yeah.
I didn't have to go into Fusion and export two different objects and then do the combine merge like you normally would inside of Cura.
You just paint it. Okay.
You just paint right over it. It can detect, the faces or the triangles, or you can go ahead and just write right on the object the different colors that you want. So in terms of the workflow, it's so much faster than
I have to play with that.
In the past.
I will play with that. Then, of course, we can share Bambu Studio files.
Yes. Yeah, we did create a Adafruit account. We will start posting all of the ready-to-go models right in there as we continue to design specifically for the multi-material colors like that.
Yeah, I'm real surprised that the tolerances worked out because with that resin stuff, it tends to shrink a bit more, so you don't add any offsets to your mating faces that are kind of touching, like the snap fit geometry here. So this is from JLC PCB. It's a resin print, and it's the exact same STL as the one you have there.
And again, I didn't think it was going to fit. I should have grabbed the spudger.
Right.
Super.
Of course, because there's no gaps in between those.
Yeah.
But this is Lamar just ordered 100 of these, so we'll have these in the stock. This is the 1.5 amp USB LiPo charger. Yep. So we'll stock these, and you get a nice Adafruit logo. You got your bat and load labels here, and then over here on the top, it has the label USB, and then solar DC in, and then you got some mounting tabs.
It did a pretty decent job on the text here. I did get the 0.2 millimeter nozzles as well, specifically for having the text on cases. We should be able to get a lot better, finer detail with that. Looks a lot better on the battery and load text here.
Yeah. And then this is what you'll get if you order it. Come on. I'm using my webcam again, not my iPhone, because I now have a webcam that I can use that isn't tied to Octoprint.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I got this thing, and then a nice Adafruit logo on the back. Sorry about the. There you go. There you go. So nice Adafruit logo, nice surface finish, couple labels there if you can see it. Yeah, and then if I plug it in, you would see it light up. We tend to stick with this white material because it diffuses the LEDs. There you can see the LED shines nicely in there.
The most cost effective, and as we've noticed in trying the black resin color too, the tolerance is a lot better.
Yep. And then no screws needed. It just has these pegs that fit in. And yeah, this will be in the store as soon as we get them in. We have 100 on order. Shout out to everybody who's been purchasing these cases. We'll be making more. And you got this M3 size tabs here, so you can attach this to a surface if you want. So yeah, that's a little bit of shop talk.
Yeah, like how snug it fits in here. The tolerances are so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Get this in the proper way. Let's see.
Get rid of that. Make that bigger. There you go. Very nice. Very cool. All right. For as far as the unboxing, you unboxed it and you set it up, and
there was I have a scene on there on how I added the color. It's
right.
Like you were saying before. You just paint over. There's a couple different options. You can detect the faces or the triangles, or you draw right on it, and we'll just have to update the way that the emboss is. It can be flush with the
okay. So you can make it flush in the Studio app?
No. I'll have to go into Fusion and
I see. Okay.
Unemboss it.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Or just do it by like 0.1 or something like that, or sink it into the bed. That could have been the other thing as well.
Yeah, it'll make it thinner, but yeah, all sorts of different ways to do it. All right. Yeah, I really want to play around with the idea of having a multicolor kind of faceplates for cases.
Exactly. Yeah,
so that'd be real cool.
Yeah, I've been looking at how I could quickly do like for last 2 weeks project. Like I don't know, maybe just the logo on the back, or just
logo stripe, a racing stripe. Something fun.
Yeah, they have a built-in text, so you can add that onto cases. So
yeah,
I've probably tried that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super easy to add. I'm sure the JLC will one day add the multi-color option for when we stock things. So only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Those came out excellent.
Nice.
And I think that's pretty much it. What else did I have on here? Oh, just the little gifts that were included. The little little piano music box. Super cool. You got Twinkle Twinkle. I got Clementine. So that's super cool that they're able to randomize the little music box that they give away.
Yeah. I guess you can print out the little piano, the baby grand. I have yet to do that because I've been printing practical things. It's been funny. So that's cool. Yeah, it comes with that, a little kit, a little project to get you started with. I love when companies do that. Yeah. Cool. All right. So one of the things while over the break, Liz wanted to print a lovely tree topper for her mother, and we found this nice model on Maker, or I think it was on Printables actually. But anyway, this was the first time printing something like this, and it actually failed. But one thing that's really cool is when you have the mobile app, you can remotely view the status of your printer and check up on it anywhere. So it's kind of like Adafruit IO, where you anywhere in the world that you have, if you have a Wi-Fi connection or just a 5G network, go to app and you can see your printer. This was our first fail that gave us the spaghetti detection. The AI spaghetti detection feature is built into the Bambu X1C. And you can see here in just a couple frames, it fails and it just pauses and it notifies you. And it notified my phone while we were out eating dinner. And it was like, hey, spaghetti detection detected. Do you want to cancel it or resume? And I canceled it. As you can see, you can probably see here in the beginning, this print has a very, it's very thin. It has very thin amount of surface area at the bottom. So I added a brim, but it still popped off. So how did I fix it? A couple things, really easy things. The first thing I did was I upped the bed temperature from 50 C to 60 C because that's normally what I print at. And then the second thing I did was I reduced the speed to 50%, which you can do while it's printing. You can either do it in the slicer or just tell it in the UI in the printer, hey, do a 50, which I did. And then I just made the brim bigger. You could also use a raft. That might have worked. And the last thing I did is I dropped the brim gap from 0.1 to just 0. That ensures that your brim comes off nicely. But I actually want the brim to be really tight on that on the edge of the model. So I just dropped down that to 0. And we had a successful print. Let's see. Do I have it here? I haven't added it yet, but have you had any fails where the print was knocked off the bed?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Let me add.
Yeah, all the fails that I've had were alerts on, adjust the spool, or there was the filament, the chute for the purge. Right at the back there, it just didn't come off the nozzle. So with tweezer, I just pull it off and it continued to print.
Okay. So this is with the bigger brim, tighter brim, hotter bed, and we were able to print the bottom and the top piece at the same time.
Nice.
Because it's a very tall tree topper. But there it is printing, and it printed successfully. And it's one of those prints that are just mesmerizing as you see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very flexible and bouncy. So I'm surprised that it's able to to catch it really well. Is that silk PLA? Is asking Paul Blue. It is not. It's actually glitter. It's kind of a glitter-ish. It's from Polymaker. It's not exactly silk, but it is kind of shiny and glittery. The glitter stuff tends to expand a bit more. This one doesn't really do that. It's from Polymaker, actually. Polymaker, I think it's Poly. It's not the Terra. I think it's like Poly PLA Pro, I believe. But yeah, not silk. Just a nice shiny-ish material. Yeah. So those are my tips. Yeah, just a bigger brim. You can add a hotter bed and slow it down. And that's kind of what it told me when it failed. They give you a little on the phone is like, do you want to see some tips and guides? That's so cool. And that's so cool to just like read through it. Like if you're really new to 3D printing, then that's so helpful. It's such a great resource to have everything built into the app. Like everything is built into the app. Yeah, very good. All the controls
and the handy little to-dos.
The to-dos.
What I was gonna say, the just the way that it alerts you. What's I gonna say? Oh man, something along those lines. Oh, it's like an appliance.
Oh, it's
so legit, not hacky, like the way that you log in and are able to view the way you're able to view the status of it from anywhere. Octoprint has that, but you have to set all these things up. This is all default. You don't have to do any tinkering. There's no command lines to open up and set up any of the camera stuff. So super impressed with just everything being default. Things that took so long to set up. Like I was saying before, the frustration of having to re-image your Raspberry Pi, reburning your SD card, or oh no, my SD card somehow got corrupted.
Yeah.
I don't know, something touched it.
Yeah.
I had to like redo the entire thing, or I don't know why you couldn't like use different SD cards and different Pis. I don't know if it burnt like the IP on it or something, where I had to redo the entire image, and that takes like half an hour or whatever to redo. So
Yeah.
super impressed with not having to have a separate little Linux computer next to it plugged in, having another power source to worry about, another plug for not just that, but the camera, the webcam, to have that plugged in just to view the status of it. Fails that you wouldn't be alerted until you walk by the printer.
Yeah. The bed leveling is like a thing of the past. It just does such a great job of like inspecting the first layer, make sure it's good and solid.
Mm-hmm.
I never leveled the bed. You'll never level the bed. Like it just does it for you. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge thing. Like it's always about like, oh, make sure your bed is leveled. Nope.
I mean, I just bought one of these. Yeah, we've noticed like for the past 2 years now, every heading these.
Yeah.
And as we've seen with like the Prusa stuff, I don't think people care about the printer itself being open source. Like all of our stuff is still going to be all open source. We'll give away all the files. Now we can give away the exact file that we use for the files that we use to print out in stock. Is going to be the exact same STL, because before we would give away just the FDM version of that. Now it'll be the exact same one that we send off to JLPCB.
Yep. Catching up here on the Discord, Adafruit Discord. Shout out to Fetty too from Costa Rica. Hello. Been seeing that Bambu is smaller than I thought. The filament keeper is a plus. Which printer? Ours is the Carbon X1. It's kind of their biggest right now. 256 cubed is pretty much going to cover all the things. I was able to.
Saying the helmets fit on there.
Yeah, the both Daft Punk helmets that we did in the past, they both fit without reducing it, without having to size it down, and also the SpaceX helmet that we found and printed that also fit on the bed. So that's pretty impressive right there. Brant says all the models are pretty small. The Mini is really small. Maybe they're talking about the Mini. And Brent just picked up the A1 Mini for sale. It's $179. Time to print enclosures, long-term boards, snapper. Yes, very cool. Welcome to the Bambu family, says Paul Cutler. Yes. Bamboo pandas. Yes. Spaghetti detected. Very delicious. The build volume is impressive. Yeah, I'm seeing the A1, like people are printing chairs, like little chairs. Yeah,
so cool. In the I joined the Facebook group for the Bambus, and somebody was saying, those spaghetti looking models where it has the filament go out to create like a fuzzy looking model for the Christmas tree. It was like, oh, the spaghetti detector thought it had failed, but it was just printing that spaghetti tree, like when you can print like the lion hair.
Yeah, that's funny. And you can just tell to resume. Paul Blue saying that he has the A1 Mini, and the X1C at the Makerspace. Very cool. You got the whole family of Bambus then.
So cool.
Yeah. Have you tried the new Bambu Cool Plate? I have not.
No. Is that that blue one?
Yeah. I'm not. I need to look it up, but I don't know what the benefit of it is. But I did get the smooth PEI bed as a add-on accessory because it was on sale along with the Black Friday discount. It's double-sided, the texture one, which is great. Yeah. So that's really nice. So if one edge starts losing its stick, I'm just gonna flip it over. Comes with a glue stick. I rarely ever use the glue stick because the texture PEI plates are just so good. Just make sure to wipe it clean when it's cold, and you're good to go.
Yep. One thing I did see, which we might have been getting wrong this entire time with cleaning the bed plates, is don't use alcohol. They say on there to use soap and water to clean it off.
It says you can use alcohol, but just...
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it does. You can read it.
All the videos I've been watching says that
they're like, don't use alcohol. Yeah. Just use alcohol when it's cold. You don't want it to be hot because it'll kind of... Well, first of all, it's very toxic. Yeah. And then Paul Blue says the Cool Plate is supposed to increase bed adhesion for PLA and PETG. Okay. Yeah. I find it pretty sticky already. Whatever coating that the Bambu beds are using, I find it pretty good. Just wait till it's like 50 C or less, and then it'll just kind of pop off on its own. Yeah. Yep. So just wait for it to cool down, which is nice. There's still a lot to explore and find out about it. About the AMS, about the software. Yes, soap and water makes it stick very well. Yeah, I'll start using soap and water and get rid of alcohol.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Good tip. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just impressed with all of the different updates and parts and all these.
Oh yeah.
Not even hacks, just improvements to every single model for the Bambu.
It's funny. The first thing to print was a practical model. We have a very small. We have a very small area. Yeah. So our printer is in our laundry room, which is kind of small. So we have a little printing cart, and I couldn't fit the printer on the cart. So what I had to do was I had to print these feet adapters. And that was the first thing I had to model in 3D print because I had it set up on our dining table. And I printed 4 of these things in an hour. And they're these fairly large, risers that allow a tabletop to fit over the meshed cart. So I can fit the printer in. So I had to print something for the printer so I could put it in its final spot, which was kind of cool. So, and it, like I said, an hour and 15 minutes it took to print 4 of these things, which would have took 4 hours on a regular printer. So that was really cool, especially since it's just one color, just white PLA. Yeah, I was very impressed with just that. Yeah, what other cool prints? Yeah, mostly been printing a lot of bracket updates and things. You did the enclosure. I printed an update to the bearing. This is going to be, I think, next week's project. I'm just waiting on
the motors.
Not the motor, actually. So what I figured out is we're going to go ahead and go with the yellow TT motor that we have in store. And I just did a couple of code updates so that the image is a little bit more solid. I reduced the 4 LED strips down back to just 2 because I was finding that with a long image, our neon cat, it's actually overlapping the image. So it just was jarring. So I'm going to go with just these 2 and the regular motor, and just with a code update, you can actually see the image a little bit better. But yeah, I updated the bearing so that it has a better, it freely rotates a little bit better. I think it's because the new part is printed on the Bambu, and it handles the Z seam better, so it's just a lot more smooth, which is nice.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna start documenting this either later today or tomorrow. So this will be next week's project, the POV display that we've been prototyping.
How funny that!
Yeah, right.
Oh, our project works now because the printer can actually print it good.
Yeah. So for printing gears and stuff, it's probably better. So yeah. Yeah. So that'll be next week's project.
I've seen where different printers are able to print the part out a lot more optimized that actually make it work better. I think case in point, I think the Dune Thumper, I think it was a lot more smoother on one printer versus one of the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference was. It was both of them were the Smart Pro. For whatever reason, the adjustments on one was better than the other one.
Yeah, I did notice some, even with my S1 Creality S1P, I think S1 Pro, S1 Plus, whatever it is. It some of the prints were it had a noticeable gap between some of the walls, which is probably enough to make the tolerances a little bit tighter than it ought to be. So yeah, I think with this new printer, all our prints are going to be way more accurate, as you just shown us with the enclosure. The snap geometries are all nice and accurate.
Yeah, cool. And speed, so iteration on things. Sometimes we would avoid adding this, extra little bells and whistles just because we knew that was going to be another 4 hours that we couldn't allot because we needed to start shooting and get things ready for, the week to come. So the thing that I'm working on is the updated Raspberry Pi screen, the V2, the little touch screen. And I know before that's like a 4-hour print. So I'm looking forward to it being cut down to 1 hour, half an hour, and being able to, test it and see that, okay, this fits or this doesn't fit. Now I can go in and add all these extra details now, like text and, little graphical elements now, which is like, there was no time to fit any of that extra little detail stuff in there. Now I do. So it's again, exciting and rejuvenates, the excitement of being able to add those little extra touches to designs that we just did not have time to in the past.
Yeah, and I think for newcomers that are coming into it, they just get to just print it and not worry about having to tinker it to get the why is this failing.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah, we got to people grabbing the design now. They don't have to download a zip, unzip it, see all the extra parts, lay it out, rearrange it in their print bled. You just see it on Maker World and hit open in Bambu Studio, and it's
built
ready
into
to go.
The app too. Great.
Just tell what color is loaded on your AMS and hit go from there. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I know there was, I think Thingiverse now has the open in Cura, but it's not, I don't believe it's assembled. Like it's not one file that has your entire assembly ready to go.
Yeah. I needed to print a bucket for the purge material. We call it the poop. Everybody calls it the poop. For multi-color for when I did the Pusheen. So I printed this giant bucket off of the Handy app. That's what they call it. The Bambu Handy app. Just search for poop shoot, and there's like dozens and dozens. So I had to like spend a little bit of time on like, which one do I want? I just wanted a nice big bucket. So I printed the biggest bucket, and it seems to be fine now. And it printed in like an hour. And it's like this big bucket. It's like, all right, works well. I think I time-lapsed it too, but it's just a bucket.
I think that's the cool thing that we waited this long to actually jump into the Bambu bandwagon, is that there's so many models available now that's tried and true now, so we don't have to worry about being
all the kinks are worked out more or less.
Yeah. All of the firmware upgrades that come out now are just optimizing and making everything faster. You were showing me before the show the optimized way to the way that it cuts the filament to load it in as well. So all of that is just, they're on that stage now of just polish, optimize.
Yeah, I mean, when I installed it, did you do the firmware update? Like it had a firmware update, and the AMS had a firmware update. So it's called the long retraction when cut experimental feature in the filament settings. So you can play with that if you want.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of videos on YouTube on folks playing around with it. Or it used to be like this custom G code that you had to do, but now it's like implemented into the latest version, which is just funny because like it was just like 4 months ago that folks were doing these G code modifications. Now it's just built in. So that's how fast the Bambu software and firmware gets updated.
Yep. And to be fair, I think the Ultimaker, the S5, I think is the only printer that we have that is still receiving pretty regular firmware updates.
Okay.
So that's super cool to see that when companies continue to support. Because at this stage, what is it, like running on 8 years old now? Ultimaker S5 is. So it's super surprising to see firmware updates come in. And, it's not me looking on the computer. It just pops up on the screen, firmware available, hit update.
Right.
That's something we'll never see on any of our cruelties. At least the ones from years ago. Definitely not one from 8 years ago.
Yep. I think we're ready for a time lapse.
Yes, this
another time lapse.
I think this will be the last one for the Cruelty Smart Pro. This is the Snowflake Dragon. We're using the rainbow glow-in-the-dark filament for this. This came out so good. Check this out. I think we found this on Maker World.
Yep.
And everybody at the Maker Faire booths had at least one of these dragons.
Oh, that's fun. So detailed.
One that was requested by the kids. It has a nice little snowflake for the tail tip. and we're using that super cool glow-in-the-dark rainbow color for it.
Yeah, it's super vibrant under. Do you have a black light there? Is that what's
Yeah,
making
yeah.
it? Yeah, it looks so popping.
And then like in the just in the dark, it glows really nice as well. Illuminates all of the objects around. I have the camera loaded up.
Yeah, I got you.
There it is. Yeah, check this guy out. Super detailed, super cool.
Cute.
Super spiky too. So just be careful if you're printing this out for the kids.
Ouch.
I had to go in on each little spike here and like chop it off and like round it out with the punch cutters, so they don't cut themselves on it or accidentally step on it as they're running around pretending that they're flying with it. Yeah, it's a super cool model.
It is on Maker World, our first Maker World model, I think, that we're printing. Designed by Vix Vivo 3D. It's a free model, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's a multicolor, so you can do multicolors if you want, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, very neat. And you can just open it in the studio if you want to start printing it right now.
Yeah,
if you have a Bambu, of course, or you can download the 3MF or the STL. You know, I'm still exporting STLs.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, once we start publishing files, we'll talk about our profile and stuff, or Adafruit profile and Maker World. But for right now, I don't think we have anything on there yet.
I think the first thing would probably be the solar box, and then the Pi screen. Probably just go from there going forward.
Okay. Cool. Apparently, it won a contest, or it's in the contest. Cozy Christmas. Nice. All right, that's this Tuesday. We got a couple minutes left, so let's kind of run through the community makes sent to us this year. How about multicolored prints? Adam posted up their model of the of our older lightsaber, the classic lightsaber with the prop maker feather wing. This looks to be multicolored. I remember I used the Ultimaker S5 with the dual. Is it dual head? Yeah, the dual nozzles. But now you can print it on their Bambu with even more colors. So that's really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I believe the models are ready to go. Yeah, all the colors are there. But most people are printing it with a single extruder. But now you can do multicolored lightsabers, hilts. So that's cool. Shout out to Adam for posting that. Worked out really well. After that, we have a make from Exoberto. Posted up our little print in place owl with a rotating head. And this is, I am starting to make a multi-material color option for this. It's more of like on my free time because I really got to get this guide started. But really, really cool model. Even in one color, it looks fun. I actually printed. I don't have it with me right now, but I printed it on my S1 Pro, and like the head fused, so it won't rotate. So I'm like, do I need to offset the faces? Probably not with the Bambu. It probably just spins freely because I did scale it down, and when you scale it down, your tolerances get finer and finer as you scale something down. So I think this was printed in full scale. It looks full scale to me, but maybe they made it smaller. No comment on it, but it is a nice picture of it made. Thanks for posting that. Looks really good. So if you want a rotating owl, check it out. You can see the GIF, right? Has a little thing on the bottom. So this is a perfect prime model for having multicolors. Like the eyes will be a different color. And then Liz suggested you should make Minerva. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I should make Minerva. I should make Blinka too, but in due time. Yeah. So that's a fun one. All right. After that, we have it's snow season. Last night we had bits of snow. Hopefully we get more snow, but this is a little snow mold I did last year. This is a fun one. Cyber Leader 3000 posted up their make of the snowbird. Little mold for making these little birds, which is fun.
We had like the thinnest little sheets of ice on the grass.
Oh yeah,
last morning.
That's a big deal.
Somebody posted it. It was somebody made like the tiniest little snowman.
That's funny.
So
little snowman.
Funny, we're going from, I think it was 32 up to 78. I think.
Wow, what a spread.
Friday, I know, right?
All right. After the Snowbird mold, we got another lightsaber. This was posted by Van on Printables. They said, this is a fun project to learn electronics assembly and light coding. The hilt printed easily and everything fit together perfectly. I bought a few grab bag blades from Ultra Sabers. Ooh, it's a good spot. And they all had a variable fit, ranging from loose to just right. I just swapped around some tape. Oh, I wrapped around some tape on the end of the blade until it was snug.
Yep.
The diffusion film they use doesn't stand up to the NeoPixels though, so I sandwiched the LEDs between some extra strips of poster board. Yeah, that's good. The LEDs peek out in a few spots, but that's easy to fix later. One criticism is the hilt detection is way too sensitive. Oh, in the code, yeah, it'll trigger almost randomly while swinging the saber around. But when you do hit something, the sound and light reaction happens a second after. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a delay. For whatever reason, I could only increase it to 125. Anything higher made all the coding stop working, and too much of a code noob to figure out why. I did manage to change the hilt color to whatever the normal blade color is. So now my saber just makes the sound without flashing white. But this forced me to figure out some of the code, and that was a plus. I butchered the soldering electronics, but it works. Hopefully it'll be easier on the next one. Yeah, it's a project for sure. Definitely. Yeah, it looks great. You can see the diffusion there, just a little bit hot spot there at the tip, but yeah, it looks good. Very tall blade. All right, and then two more to round it off. We have another one from Beta Wolf. This is the a make of the USB media dial that we did earlier this year. This is another good kind of multicolored print. We were able to do it with just the filament swap technique, but now we can do it without having the filament swap, which is nice. But they put it together. It looks nice. Very fun USB media dial. Beta Wolf says, I use the RGBW NeoPixel ring and a Zhao ESP32S3. Programming will be a bit of a challenge, but it's nice to learn for sure. Yep.
Awesome.
And the last one, because it is baking season, Michael S. posted up their make of the circuit cookie roller. So you can make some cookie if you're in the States, or biscuits if you're in the UK. They call the cookies biscuits. I know that because I've been watching a lot of the Great British Bake Off. Yeah, I've been watching like all the seasons. These look great. The little stars with circuits on them. They look fantastic. So if you want to make some cookies, we also have a nice cookie recipe for making shortbread cookies or biscuits. And I just love looking at these every year round because I'm just so amazed how we were able to get such fine details on these cookies.
Took a while to get the recipe, right?
Yeah, I did. That's before they're in the oven and after.
And they were so good too.
They were delicious. I'd love to make them again.
I'm reminded of how good.
Yeah, they were excellent. So much butter. It's just nothing but butter. Basically butter cookies. Yeah. And oh yeah, of course we have the not just the roller, but we also have the little, what do you call them? Cutters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the last one. What a great way to round it out. We have 1 minute left. So let me catch up on the things here. Paul Blue has been printing some part trays for coworkers on his Bambu printer. Designed a soccer ball shaped one. And there's a triangle parts tray with a spout notch. That's really helpful. And then Paul also printed out the dragon model 2 days ago. So that's funny.
So cool.
Yeah, everybody's printing that out.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me check in Discord. You guys got anything? Let us know. Any questions, any comments? If you want to support the show or support your maker habit, you can pick up some parts with a coupon code, New Prints. It'll get you 10% off your order. So check that out. It's good for the next 24 hours. Code expires the end of the day at midnight. And that's the show, folks. Hopefully next week we'll have our POV project published and ready for everybody to take a look at. I think we have one more project. You're going to do the Raspberry Pi project. We were going to try to do this IoT light, but I think we've just run out of time. Especially since we're going to go on another break. Maybe we'll save that one for next year. that I don't feel confident that we'll be able to push it out.
Yeah, I mean, the people keep their lights up until past January, so it'll still be relevant then.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Even the HOA allows us like a month after the holidays to keep the lights up.
Okay.
And
Very
it could
good.
be for any lights inside. I mean, people keep
Well, the main thing was it was like themed out,
doors.
and it's like this switch.
Yeah.
If you were going to do the detonator switch, so and then the code makes it so that it has lights and sounds and the kind of triggers. We're basically remaking the Target Christmas tree remote. Yeah, because apparently they sold out, or they were recalled or something, so you can't get them anymore. So that's why we're going to remake it. Yeah, that was the main reason why we're going to remake it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're a little over time now.
Off-the-shelf outlets with the matter control work.
That's right.
With Python, so that's why I'm saying that we should still do it. Like maybe the panels can be themed, so you can take the panels off and have like a Halloween themed one or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The next holiday, 4th of July or something.
That's actually a better idea. Yeah, make it modular. Okay. Mm-hmm. We got one last question. Let's see if we can answer it in the next minute or two. What support materials do you suggest for humid workshops? Humid workshop, like workshops with humidity, and multi-material printers.
What is the breakaway stuff from Ultimaker?
Is it have you ever used PVB? I know we've used PVA before, but that stuff like expires pretty quick. I haven't used it now.
I remember that stuff. What is the breakaway stuff? Is that the same stuff that is provided with the Bambu? I know they ship one of the rolls, the white roll.
Yeah,
is support material.
Yeah, the breakaway support material would probably be the best. Otherwise, just use PLA. If you have a humid workshop, maybe a filament dryer would be good. You can invest in a food dryer on Amazon and then just put your filament in there. If you don't want a DIY one, the AMS, that's why we have the AMS, so it's all in one if you have a Bambu. Yeah. But PVB, I'm not sure if we've used it before. But whatever the breakaway support material is, we've used that before. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Google it real quick.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the support material I used for... that dissolves in alcohol? Yeah, that must be like the Elmer's glue material. Yeah, we've used that very, very long time ago. Maybe the filaments have gotten better, but I remember you had to like vacuum seal it and be really careful with it.
I say the breakaway stuff. That one, that came out excellent. Like the
I agree.
I'm blanking out on it. The surface.
The bottom there.
Surface looks so good.
Yeah,
like super clean.
It was very, very clean. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Breakaway material.
Good.
Cool. All right.
Okay. It's called breakaway material from Ultimaker. It does not dissolve in water. It literally prints like PLA, but yeah, it's so easy to break off. Super fragile, but it prints really well.
Yeah.
It might be the same stuff that's included with the Bambu printer with the AMSs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I recommend. Yep.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Tonight we have, so we're going to try to do show and tell. Special guest Liz will be hosting tonight. Starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to join, you can pop on by the Adafruit Discord server, where Liz will drop the link a little bit before 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then you can join us and share your projects, your progress, whatever you got working on. And then Ask an Engineer might be canceled this week due to family things. But don't quote me to it. Things are always changing. So I think they might not do it. If they do it, awesome. If not, sorry. Right. Is there a blog post? I don't see one yet. Is this on the Slack? It was in the email. It was an email because Phil was asking, can anyone take over show and tell? So, yeah. So at least show and tell will be running. That's for certain. And then tomorrow is JP's JP's workshop. I think it's 4 p.m. on Thursdays, Eastern time. I think Scott is doing this week.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, he's back from break from his paternity leave. But I think after this week, Tim will be back doing deep dives. Sundays from the That's What He Is, they tend to like happen around noon now. At least this week. Last week they did noon, which is great.
Daytime?
Yeah, daytime. Yep, noon. Not midnight. And then Tuesdays is JP's product pick of the week. You get up to 50% off select items. Very cool. All right, and then this show, I am so gonna change out that printer for the Bambu.
Oh, we still have the Taz.
Taz printer on there.
They're still around.
Yeah. I was telling Pedro before the show, I might make a big Adafruit with multicolored face and everything.
I think it's fine to just use the latest one that you made, the robotic one. Yeah, servo Adabot.
Yep.
I'll take a photo. It's ready to go. The wall is pretty empty. I had to move where the Ultimaker S5 was, so it's just the Bambu all by itself.
Yeah.
Quickly or easily take a photo of that one.
Yeah.
I'll do that after lunch.
Yeah, all of this can now be printed in one color because it's all like press fit. And
yeah, the kids keep popping the freaking eye out.
Really? Yeah. Add more glue.
Right, I'll do at least just the head.
You can do little details like add little colors to the feet and add colors to all of the little ribs, all the ribs here. I can all do that now. So yeah, we can get really creative with that.
It's exciting.
Parts. It is exciting because like that really brings so much character to life to it.
Yeah, all that extra detail that just cutting a lot of the time. Now it's built in.
Yep. Cool. All right, we're over. So thanks everybody so much for watching. Pick up something from the Adafruit shop. We'll see you next week. But until then, remember to make
a great day.
Bye, folks.